Okay, there we go. Welcome, folks. Sorry about that. Trying to make sure that I could have this up on my PC as well as it's streaming. We had some folks last time said they had some issues. They emailed me after the fact saying that they had some issues hearing about halfway through. Trying to get that worked out. I don't think it'll be an issue this time, but on the off chance that it does, trying to make sure that we're up and running so I can troubleshoot as we go if we need to. But welcome. This is the Star Wars Battlefront Livestream podcast, as I call it. Not podcast because it is something delivered as an audio file to your podcatching software like iTunes, but podcast in the sense that it is like most of the podcasts that I've done since 2002, whether it's Chrono Radio, Star Wars Beyond the Films, Cloud City Casino, or whatever. It's designed around the idea of the discussion, the talk, the commentary, more so than the gameplay itself. The gameplay basically winds up being a backdrop in many ways to whatever discussion happens to be going on. Though this time, the gameplay is a part of the focus because we want to look at some of the changes that have happened here. We are here in the afternoon. I am monitoring away after spending an entire day so far doing phone calls to parents. I'm hoping that my voice holds, and there we go, as I hit a button and all of a sudden my TV starts thinking I want to watch some Apple TV. No. How's about you turn back to the PlayStation, damn it. It's been that kind of day. But yes, assuming my voice can hold here, we're going to take a look at some of the changes that have been made. This is sort of rollout part 2. You may recall that they announced a while back they were going to overhaul the entire progression system. And in doing so, they were rolling it out in 2 chunks. And the first chunk was to change general progression and basically make it so that all of your different currencies really didn't do anything for a while. And then the second part of that, the second half of the rollout, is what they just did, which is to add crystals back into the game, to add appearances, to add crates beyond just, or not really crates, but purchases back into the game, and that sort of thing. So that's what we want to take a look at. And as part of that, they've also added a limited time event of the Ewok Hunt game mode. So we'll look at that as well. But it's one of these things where think of this as sort of part 2 of their rollout of big changes that we want to take a look at. Haven't been doing a lot of these streams lately just because the game has trouble sort of drawing me back in many respects. But every time there's a big change like this, we want to take a look at it. So the first thing you'll notice is that up on the top of the screen there, you do still have the regular currencies. Those stopped being useful, but didn't actually go away. So you got your credits, then you got your crystals, then you've got your crafting parts. The crystals I got from some old milestones. I have not actually spent any money on crystals within the game itself. And then your crafting parts are the ones there with the little circle. Crafting parts don't actually do what they used to do anymore. Crafting parts aren't used to actually craft cards. Instead, skill points are what unlocks cards as you progress, as we looked at in the last live stream. So what's happening with the crafting parts now is that basically they translate on a 40-to-1 basis into skill points. So if I have a particular class that I want to upgrade, I can spend 40 of my crafting points to get a skill point for that character or that class or whatever, without having to wait around to actually build up playing as that class. Crystals are used for purchases, as are credits, but those purchases are now cosmetic. So your home screen looks pretty much the same, the play screen looks pretty much the same, the collection screen is mostly the same at first glance, but this is where most of the changes have set in. You notice there for each class, Assault, Heavy, you look kind of in the middle of the screen there, you have different numbers that now represent the rank of that particular class or that particular type of player unit. It used to be that you had your account rank, which made a huge difference, but then you also had your rank in terms of the cards. And whatever cards you had different dots up at the top based on their rarity, and the number of dots you had determined what level you were and what you could craft for that particular class. It was very confusing to new players. Now instead, as you gain XP, it is just giving you a straight up XP number for that particular hero class or whatever. So I've actually got a few that I haven't spent all my skill points on. So let's go to Fighter. And I've got 1 skill point here. A skill point gets spent either to unlock a card or to upgrade a card. Now, we're not in a position anymore where the amount that you need of some currency to upgrade from, say, common to uncommon, uncommon to rare, rare to epic, It used to be that that was a significantly different cost depending on what you were upgrading to what. Now it is just one skill point regardless of what level. So let's see, what do we have here? Engine upgrade is all right. Fighter weapon stability, defensive ability, enemy lock-on time increase, time to lock decrease, regeneration delay. Let's do the targeting computer. So I'm going to hit upgrade and spend my skill point. I'm going to hit confirm. And again, doing that, if I wanted to go through and I want to take that now from rare to epic, from blue with 3 markers to purple with 4, I'd still just spend the 1 skill point on it. I wouldn't have to have, like, say, 2 or whatever, as was the case in the past. Okay? Now, that being said, if we go back and look at our individual characters and the trooper classes, those have changed. So you're going to unlock your cards. I made it a point to make sure that at least the base level was unlocked on every card before the progression thing changed. Now what's happening with progression is that instead of choosing which card you unlock at its basic level to start with, as you progress through the different levels of the character, my specialist is level 34, as you progress, it makes different cards available to be purchased. And as you go along, you can purchase them with a skill point as you level up, and then again use the skill points also to upgrade. So your approach here is a little bit different. Your weapons are still unlocked the same way they were before, finishing milestones. That has not changed. Appearances. That has changed significantly, okay? So, used to be that your troopers didn't even have appearances to choose from, but you'll notice here that if I'm on this main screen for that particular class and I use R1 or L1, I can cycle through what a specialist, the sniper, looks like for the First Order, for the Empire, for the Separatists, for the Resistance, for the Rebels, for the Galactic Republic, and so on. Now, my First Order, Galactic Empire, Separatists, and Republic, right now at least, are all just like standard armor. There isn't a way to customize that yet. But for the Rebel Alliance and for the Resistance, those do have customizations available. So I can now go under appearances, and for instance, I've got Human Resistance 1, which is the one you start with. I can now spend credits, right, out of my 40,000 or so up there, or I can spend crystals, which are the ones you buy with real money or do a few of the milestones to get. And as you go through, you can unlock these different characters. It's kind of like unlocking the different heads back in the original Battlefront to get the different looks, right? And it tells you whether they're rare or common or whatever, basically based on the price, which is used to keep them rare or otherwise. Same thing with Rebel Alliance. All right, so you got these different character classes or character looks that are now available. And that doesn't just apply to troopers, as we're going to see. The emotes, still pretty much the same emotes. I'm not all that concerned right now, for instance, about doing the 25 kills on Ewok Hunt, because the thing you get for that is the peekaboo emote, which I already have. But again, you unlock these. You'll notice here, available in crates, it says. Now, that's different than what it used to be. It used to be you'd have these crates that you would just go buy on the crate screen. Right now, that's not in the game at all. Instead, when you complete a milestone, you get, say, a peekaboo crate or a chosen one crate. And that is the crate that includes that emote, perhaps with something else. Okay? But that's what they mean by crates this time. Crates that you earn rather than crates that you buy. And you'll have your victory poses. Same kind of thing. That you just get by completing certain things. You'll notice here, when I'm back on the selection screen, I've got my specialist chosen, but I haven't gone to the specialist page yet. Over there in the middle, not only does it tell me the rank, but because I've got those 80 crafting parts, I have 2 skill points I can get by trading in 40 at a time to get a skill point. But skill points are tied to a specific class or character, so I have to be selecting that one in order for it to convert to that one. I'm not going to do that necessarily yet unless I just happen to see somebody I'd like to, you know, do that with. Let's see. Do we have anybody? How's my fighter looking? Nah, my fighter's already loaded up. How about my bomber? Yeah, my bomber. Okay. I like playing this mode. Let's do bomber. So I'll go ahead and make it 2. So we're going to convert 40 crafting points up in the corner into 1 skill point for the bomber. Going to do it again. Now, all my crafting parts are gone. They are gone from the menu thing up at the top because now they no longer exist essentially in the game. But now when I go to the bomber, I've got 2 skill points that I can spend. And you notice this one is unlocked, sort of. Okay, so I just went in there for the first time since I hit level 16, I guess. So if a card can't be purchased at all yet, it's face down and it has a number on the back, which lets you know, hey, Confer, that kind of lets you know when you'll be able to purchase it. Once you've reached the point where you can purchase it, it's face up, but it's got the lock symbol on it. And then you spend, like so, might as well, right? You spend, and it unlocks the card. Now it's available to equip or to upgrade or whatever. Let's see. We have time to lock. Maximum health increase. Might as well do a maximum health increase. Why not? Sure. Wait, what do I even have? No. Advanced torpedoes. Increase primary weapon damage or torpedo. Let's take this one. I'm still trying to do one of the things for this guy, I think. So let's go ahead and upgrade that. So square. Oh, square should work. That is odd. Is it not letting me because... Oh, I have to get to bomber level 25 in order to upgrade to an epic. My bad. So let's just do... hell, I don't know. Let's just do tuned lasers. Okay, so upgrade, confirm. There you go. Okay, so it's all skill point based now. Your different ships don't have alternate appearances yet. Your different support classes, no, but you do have the card slots open. So in theory, I could, like, break out a third card here. I don't really care. I'm not. Just whatever, that one. That's fine. Your individual support classes that are either troopers or otherwise, they do not have the appearance changes. Again, though, they do have the slots open. You're basically just going to have to go through and look. It's not going to tell you whether their slots are empty unless you actually look. But your trooper classes all have new appearances available, as do your heroes for the most part, but the hero ships do not. So, for example, new stuff they've just added. For Rey, we now have the Ach-2 look for Rey that's available. Yoda now has a hooded appearance that's available, which looks kind of weird to me, honestly, but whatever. Finn does not. Phasma does not. Maul does not. Luke does have a second appearance, but it's the Hoth one that you could have unlocked through those challenges recently. He didn't get a new one with this update. Leia did get a new one. She has the indoor one now. Hoth is one from the recent challenges. Let's see. Lando does have a new one, so he can either look like his Return of the Jedi self, or he can look like his Baron Administrator Empire self. Palpatine, no changes. Han now has 4 total. Indoor is brand new. It'll open there. Hoth is the one from the recent challenges. Smuggler is the one for doing a particular milestone. Captain's the one you start with. Iden has a new one, but it's basically just Iden with no helmet, which I think should have been the default in the first place, honestly. Kylo now has a 3rd appearance, which is the Scarred appearance. Unfortunately, you can't rotate them. Vader, no changes, so no pink Vader yet. Chewbacca has a wounded version of himself, but you really can't tell in the preview. So, kind of a bad preview. They really ought to let you rotate them. And then neither Bossk nor Boba Fett have any yet. So not everybody has appearances yet that can now be purchased with crystals or otherwise. Now, let's say I do want to change an appearance. Let's say I want to change Iden's appearance and give her the commander look. Well, maybe I want to spend 20,000 credits, which is 40 days worth of daily crates, if you're not actually playing the game, in order to get it. Well, okay, that's fine, but I could also just spend crystals that are bought with real money. If I click R1, or R2, excuse me, here's our conversion, And actually, I'm going to grab my phone, because I haven't actually looked at this yet. But I'm grabbing my phone, because when crystals were in the game originally, I made it a point to take a picture before they took it out of the game, so that we know how much the crystals cost. Let's see. It looks like 500 crystals for $5 is still the same. 1,000 for $10 is still the same. All right, so it looks like basically what they've done is they've brought back the exact same prices for the exact same number of crystals that they had before they removed them from the game, except there used to be a 5th one available if you wanted to spend $100 on crystals. That option is no longer available, probably because it made people's brains melt. But basically, if you want to, you can spend real money, but understand the only thing crystals will buy now are appearances. The only thing credits will buy now are appearances. All star cards and actual progression is based on playing as those characters and based on earning skill points. The only way you could bypass that at all is if you happen to have had a handful of crafting parts left. Okay? Career is basically the same. We got the ones for Ewok Hunt basically going on, and their options page is the same. So we're going to jump into Ewok Hunt here and see how this goes. Ewok Hunt, I played a little bit last night. I'm not all that thrilled with it, but yeah. And hopefully this stream will be okay. It's actually, I've plugged it in with a LAN cable, but I realize after the fact that I didn't switch the network choice on the system. So it's going to be trying to stream this without. But we're not going to do the stream for very long. I basically have been working all day, worked through lunch, and figured I'd do this for a short time just to show what's new. And then that'd be pretty much it. Whew. Yes, back playing Star Wars again because there's something new to show. To be honest with you, I don't see myself doing a lot of Star Wars streaming in the near future just because Battlefront has trouble bringing me back. But maybe once Season 2 starts, the official Season 2 of new content, maybe. There we go. A personal phone driving me crazy today. Would you like to take a survey? We're calling you about your credit card debt. Oh, I have credit card debt? We're calling you about your student loans. Oh, I have student loans? Really? Interesting. All right, so here's the weird thing about Ewok Hunt. It's kind of this weird asymmetrical battle. So you start out and somebody is going to be the first Ewok. Everybody else starts out as the Stormtrooper. You cannot switch it to third person. You are locked into first person view, which kind of sucks. Your only ability to start with is this flashlight. However, if I can find it, there is a... I'd have to find it. There's a supply crate around here somewhere, and if you get the supply crate, it gives you like a flame grenade or incendiary grenade ability, and it gives you a more rapid fire weapon. But the idea is that you're moving around and you can barely see squat except with your light, right? Or with the lights of other troopers, and they want you to get close to those other troopers so that, you know, you can back each other up and protect each other. What I find is that until you're about to die, you're not going to see the Ewok that's coming for you. Okay, I'm getting my ass beat by an Ewok right there. I didn't see the Ewok that attacked me. It's really difficult to see the Ewoks at all, even with the light on, unless you go into one of the cave areas. And as soon as you die, though, thankfully, it's kind of like those games where if you die as a human, you get turned into a zombie and you continue to play as a zombie. Kind of the same thing. You die, you come back as an Ewok. And to an Ewok, I guess because of their better eyesight, they can see everything. But it's still difficult to see stormtroopers even as an Ewok. Unless you're right up on them like this poor guy. Go! Go! Because he can't see me at all. And I've weaponized, the Ewoks have weaponized Wisties. So yes, those are Wisties. Dead. 3 hits from an Ewok, a stormtrooper is dead. Okay? And you can turn on this ability your double button ability, which basically lets you more easily spot them. I'm having a lot easier time spotting them this time than I did last night. I find that last night I was hardly ever even seeing a stormtrooper when I played as the Ewok. So it's very asymmetrical, and the goal basically is for the Empire is for at least one Imperial to survive and get to a transport shuttle that arrives. But as someone who's playing as an Ewok, you don't want that. And by the end of it, everybody but one is playing as an Ewok. You also have the ability to walk into your little holes there and pop yourself back up onto the trees. Ah, come on. How did he survive that? The other one only took 3 hits. How much longer do I teach for the semester? May 18th is the last regular day for my students, but then we have kind of a buffer beyond that, and we almost immediately get into a summer session. Because I lead the team for the social studies team for the summer session. Get about a 1-week break maybe in between. Activate my ability here. Oh, I can all of a sudden Ewoks are like friggin' Predator because they can see the footprints. I see them. Here he comes. He's right there, but I know that if he sees me, he's gonna kill me. If he sees me, he's gonna try to kill me. Oh yeah, he's the one that's got the DLT-19, so he was able to get to a supply crate. But yeah, this is very different. Maybe they've tweaked it, but this is very different than my experience last night, where you would run around most of the time as the Ewok and never see a single stormtrooper the entire time you were playing. Maybe they fixed the spawn points. Yeah, exactly. It does give you an ability. Where you at, you little bitch? Oh, he killed me. Killed me with a punch. Or not a punch, like a swipe with it looks like. But yeah, so it's kind of like the jetpack thing, where basically everybody is stuck with the same loadouts. Like, it's telling me I've got explosives expert. Do I? Really? What explosives? The Wisties? Are they considered explosive? And apparently Ewoks can jump from like any height and not get hurt. Bum bum. The wind up on that weapon sucks, by the way. On the Wisty weapon sucks. Trying to draw them out. Draw them out and kill them all. There's a bunch of them in there. It's just that there's a bunch of them in there. Freak them out! I don't remember Endor being a low-gravity planet. Whee! Aww. You were going to try to kill me. Come on, you gotta run for the ship, bitch. There you go. Hello. Oh, killed. Yeah, they don't take very many hits to die. Usually, I found it takes about 3, depending on where you're hit. Ewoks versus Death Eaters. Hopefully Death Eaters, if only because it would mean less Ewoks. Boosh! Right, so basically as this transport flies overhead, you see it as the Ewoks or anyone else, and you have to reach it because you're trying to keep anyone from getting aboard. So if even one Imperial gets aboard, all the Ewoks lose. And only that one trooper, whatever troopers got aboard, win. Which is just kind of weird. Ah, my mouth is killing me. Defeat 25 enemies in Ewok hunt while the mode is active. Yeah, I don't care because it's for the crate for something I've already got. Yay! But I'll go ahead and stick with this for a little bit just because it's the new thing. Everything else pretty much works the same. They've done a few balance tweaks and things like that, but otherwise pretty much the norm. Notice there all of a sudden my crafting parts of 0 pop back up again. I wonder how long it's going to take for that to be consistent from screen to screen. Kind of wonder what I can spend those 140 crystals on, if anything. There's a part of me that's like, spend real money and get some new appearances. You know you want to. And then there's part of me that's like, no, I don't play it enough anymore to spend real money on this anymore. No, I still haven't had a chance to watch the 4K set yet. And I'm looking for a new buyer for my other 4K set because the original person who was going to buy it doesn't look like they will be. So 7, 6. Okay. So again, what do we do, man? You do. It's funny. They gave them default emotes. So your 2 emotes are, oh no, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap, and crying like a baby. Although it does sound kind of like he's mocking someone that's crying rather than actually crying. Alright, let's see if I can... Either need to find myself a crate or I need to find myself the entrance to the caves. Now, if you turn off your flashlight, it does recharge faster. So-and-so is lost to the forest. Ah, yeah, here we go. Move, I'll get, okay. So now I've got the souped up version of the trooper, where I've got the DLT, got the DLT and got the grenade. But I gotta find the entrance to the caves. There we go. Yeah, the caves are a good place to try to find yourself, or whatever you want to call these. Hollowed out trees. Why are you shooting at me, you dumb shit? Oh, he's trying to tell me that that's where you can get one of these. Already got one, you dumb shit. Mom? You killed my mama! Martha! Anyway, the other ability is clear for this. Grenade. See? Nice incendiary grenade. Hi guys, how you doing? We're all gonna die, man. Game over. Yeah, that was believable. They call those basilisk tears because there aren't any crocodiles. Uh-oh, my buddy's being attacked by a Wisties, which means there's an Ewok back there! Dead Ewok. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the Ewok hunt mode is basically you're a stormtrooper walking around all paranoid, but chances of running into an Ewok are, you know, relatively slim. I mean, you're going to eventually probably, but comparing time played waiting to run into an Ewok versus actually time played fighting Ewoks is incredibly skewed. And then if you're trying to put together a sort of a time spent as an Ewok versus trooper, I actually find it's about even, depending. Be nice if it could be in third person, though. You can't change that at all. You can look at your gear, but you can't change like sides of blasters or anything like that. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Deploying grenade.
Bum, bum. There's one. There's one. Set for blow his fucking head off. And every time I feel like I've got a sense of how you get away from the Wisties, it stops working. So apparently it's just you gotta wait for it to time out. But there was a point at which I thought you could just, like, 2 rolls would do it, or 1 set of shots would do it to get away from the Wisties. 2 rolls still seems to be the best bet, but it's not foolproof. Where are you at, you Teddy Ruxpin mother? Killed one. This is for Season 2 of Ewoks, you bastards! How dare you inflict that horrible nastiness on us with Wicket being a prick. Hey guys, how you doing? What's up? We all turning our lights on? No? Keeping the lights off? Okay. Guess it's kind of up to us? Really? Okay. Thanks, guys. I think I'm going to try to burn them out if you don't mind. That's good, I guess, right? And no updates on Unaltered. That would be everywhere if there were actual updates to be had. God damn, my mouth hurts. The dental work that I got done a while back, I finally got the permanent bridge put on yesterday, but doing that to get it to sit right requires biting down for a while as it dries, and that leaves my mouth just achy. Kill them! I killed another one! You hear the ching! Die! You flea-bitten furballs! Oh crap, but we gotta reach the extraction point, or somebody does. Ding 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 ding. Oh, wait, and timed out. Fantastic. So probably those kills I just made didn't count. So I guess I should be glad that I'm not trying to do the time challenge, or I would be pissed. Come on. Think of a master as, like, think you're making photocopies, right? You've got something you've created in, say, Microsoft Word. You make a printout of it. Okay? So you've exported it, so to speak, sent it out of the system that you used to edit it together in the first place. Now you have that copy of the finished product. That is your master. If you then go to make photocopies of that and you put that master on the photocopy machine and hit copy over and over again, you're going to have a bunch of copies spit out that look a lot like it, but it's not the actual first export of it. It's not the actual master. That's basically what it is. And a master, when it comes to movies, there's going to be higher definition than the eventual copies made of it, kind of like making a copy of a copy. Like the difference between, making a photocopy of something, then a photocopy of that, then a photocopy of that, and eventually it degrades a bit. But in this case, you're doing it to take that master and make it fit whatever the resolution is of that particular format, whether it's VHS, DVD, whatever. This Daily Crate contains credits. They always do. 500 at a time. Really, though, if the only thing that's going to be in crates are credits, unless you unlock something with a milestone, why even have them be crates at all? Why not just have, oh, you've logged in. Ding! Here's 500 credits up in the corner. Why make us go through the process of going and opening the crate anyway? Whatever. Let's see. I still want to open up some kind of appearance, but none of them interest me enough right now, except maybe doing one of the trooper types. But even then, I mean, they're just not, hello HP, they're just not all that spectacular. I mean, oh look, you're gonna create a Rebel or Resistance version that happens to be a different species, like a Twi'lek or an Aqualish or a Mary Allen. Mary Allen looks like she got cross-eyed anyway. Yay! Who gives a flying... You know what I mean? Like, they're just not something to make you really drawn to that. And think about what the cost would be. That is 20,000 credits to unlock this Aqualish Rebel, right? But notice what the unlock is if you use crystals. 500. Why does that sound familiar? Because 500 crystals is $4.99. So basically, $5 if you want to look like an Aqualish instead of a human, when you happen to be playing as a specialist and happen to be on a map where you're playing as a rebel. And I'm assuming, looking at these and the way they're named, I bet you that if I go in here for Rebel Alliance and I unlock the Aqualish, it will only be on a map where you're playing as a Rebel. And if I play as Resistance, I won't be able to be the Aqualish because that one's called Aqualish Resistance, not Aqualish Rebel. I bet you that the two of them are separate from a game standpoint, meaning that in order to unlock, you're going to have to unlock both. Just like before, even if and still now, even if every class of trooper has the bodyguard star card, you have to unlock it separately for every single class. Pain in the ass, which was not meant to rhyme, but totally did. So yeah, I mean, I like playing as Kylo, but do I really need the Scar version of him? Probably, if anything, I'll probably get the Rey Ach-2 skin. But how often do I actually play as a hero when playing a regular match? I usually try to stick with playing as one of the trooper types. And when you're wanting to play... It's interesting that they're like, hey, kids, jump into the game and buy some crystals or use your credits and get yourself some new appearances. Yeah! And hey, at the same time, we're introducing a new limited time mode that doesn't give a shit about your appearances because you're either an Ewok or a regular Stormtrooper and none of your choices for appearances actually matter. Thinking maybe they could have introduced these separately because right now most people who are buying new appearances are probably still playing Ewok Hunt and not getting any of the value out of the new appearances. I'll do one more Ewok Hunt here, and then that'll wrap us up. Assuming it'll get me through a freaking mission. And HP, I have to agree, I do think that right now what they've put in here is fairly lazy. Some of the ones for the heroes are nice, but the ones for the villain, or the ones for the troopers so far, not so much. The fact that there is no way at this point to customize the look of any of the armor-based characters for the troopers is kind of asinine because it basically means that the only thing that you're able to customize is a Rebel or Resistance version. Can't customize First Order, can't customize Separatist, can't customize Galactic Republic. I guess Galactic Republic you might be able to for the Officer. I'll have to actually look at that. Officer may have more options. But if it's like a First Order Stormtrooper armor, you're just stuck with whatever it is for that particular class type, and that's kind of lazy. These were all things that were built that were appearance type options, where there was something somewhat similar to them already implemented in the original Battlefront game, but here they want to sell them for real money. Which is still better than having real money spent on improving your standing, having it affect gameplay and pay to win, which is kind of where they were at the beginning. So in that sense, it's good that their microtransactions are appearance only, but it's still not a great implementation of them just yet. See, I'm thinking about either, but I'm not really sure. Let's see, it's confirmed here. I mean, the most what? Wrong way. Most masters are going to come down to, but there's one master from which most are made for a very long time. It's only when something in the movie gets changed or they realize they needed an even higher definition that it'll be redone. Like most films are either mastered in somewhere between 2K and 8K now. So if it's mastered, let's say you got one that's mastered in 8K, that'd be fine for making Blu-rays from, DVDs from, making 4K discs from, and whatever's next from, without having to go back and make a new master to do it. Unfortunately, a lot of films these days, their masters were done in 2K, thinking that surely we'd never get beyond that, and now we're already past it. I don't know what to do, guys, man. They're coming to get us, man. They're gonna kill us. They're gonna kill us all. It's like Planet of the Apes with teddy bears, man. I'm running, but it's so dark, I don't know if I'm running in water or if I'm running in a sewer, man. Is that pee on my leg? I don't know what to do, man. I just stepped on something wet and squishy, man. I don't know what it was. I understand, man. Our blasters can hold charge for a long time, and our visors and everything can hold charge for a long time. Why can't we make flashlights that last more than a few seconds, man? We're the fucking Empire, man. Sometimes you gotta roleplay to actually have it not suck. There's one! Again, there's one. Set for blow its damn head off. As opposed to set for stun. Where'd he go, man? Tell you what, man, I'm never buying my child a plush toy again, man. She can cuddle up with a blaster, man. She ain't cuddling up with no teddy bears. I'll have flashbacks, man. Walked into Toys R Us when they were going out of business and saw Teddy Ruxpin, and I was triggered, man. Oh! I don't know what happened, man. I died and I woke up and I was a fucking Ewok, man. If I die as an Ewok, do I get to come back as something else, man? Like maybe a Wookiee? I don't like being as high as everybody's butt, man. It's not cool. And so on. Whee! I do like the design they use for the Ewoks. And you got some emotes. And so, you know. Yo, 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 Ewok in the club! The crucifier was lost to the forest. There's a part of me that says, is that a bad thing? Now, what's interesting is if I activate that... Whoa! Shitballs! if I activate my special ability, like, it makes it so that if there's anything I can run into, it's there. Like, I don't know why, like, this thing. Okay, so that's up there. Why is it glowing as if it means something to me? I don't know. Boop, 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 boop. I see one in there, man, but he wants to kill me, man. What's crazy is I can be like running in front of this and the troopers still won't be able to see me. It's like the ability to actually see the Ewoks is not really based on actual line of sight in some respects. Freaking attack him! I'm sitting here slamming down the button and he's standing there like, I don't know if it's because there's a wind-up to the animation or what. Now he's doing it. That guy should have been stabbed through his butt. I like the fact that when you activate that ability, it sounds like they're sniffing a lot, trying to sniff out their prey. Though what that has to do with, you know, having weird infrared vision of footprints is kind of tough to say. If we're gonna have if we're gonna have Ewoks, we really need to have they're gonna act like Predator. We need to have Predator-related emotes. Like, click the button. It's like, you are one ugly mother, you know, or shit happens, or whatever, like from Predator 2. Still haven't seen Predators yet. I've got it sitting over there, but I haven't watched it yet. I've been rewatching all the Aliens and Predator and Aliens versus Predator stuff recently. And I've got through all the Alien stuff. And now I'm about to start Aliens versus Predator, and I've got to the first 2 Predator, but I haven't watched Predators. So I got, I guess, 3 more movies to watch in that quasi-marathon. Uh-oh. Ooh, ship. Pharaoh. Not that it's going to matter, because if we kill one more Stormtrooper, I'm assuming that the Ewoks actually win. Right? It's the first time I've ever seen the Ewoks win. They don't really explain this concept very well. It's only explained on that loading screen where they have the little tips showing up from time to time. But that doesn't really explain very well what to actually do. It takes playing a few times to get the hang of what on Earth is happening. Or what on Endor, or the forest moon of Endor is happening, I suppose. Oh. Bing. Almost to a peekaboo emote crate. And I don't even need it. So I'm assuming that would give me like extra credits or something. I do like the fact that afterwards, it gives you a detailed scoreboard that's more detailed than for most of them. So you got how long were you alive as a trooper? How many Ewoks did you kill as a trooper? Or sorry, how many? That's how many kills as an Ewok. Excuse me. What's your score? What's your rank? But also, whoever was chosen to be the first Ewok, so they never actually had a chance to play as a trooper, shows up there as first Ewok. And if there's someone who's a survivor, it'll be noted there on the side. It's actually kind of an interesting way to score things differently, and it's an unusual, unique way to play. It's just that it's very limiting. Again, it's a lot like the jetpack cargo thing, where they're basically saying, hey, here's a new mode to play, but you know what? We're not going to let you play with anything you've unlocked. We're going to have it be set forms on either side, set forms that your character will take and set gear that you will have. I guess so that they don't have to worry about balancing that mode at all. In essence, it is perfectly fair when everyone is equal on either side, or in this case, perfectly asymmetrical when every Ewok is the same as every other Ewok, and every trooper has just as much chance of getting to a supply crate as every other trooper to be able to get souped up. Which makes sense, but doesn't really make for a super dynamic game mode. it gets tiring and kind of old fairly quickly. But alas, as it's slowly working its way here towards the menu screen, slowly. I will, of course, do more streams as more new content is released. Probably not anymore until there is no content released, though, just as a heads up here. You can, of course, find me podcast-wise on Star Wars Beyond the Films with Mark Herleman, or on Cloud City Casino, which is a Star Wars gaming podcast with Michael Morris, both over on StarWarsReport.com. You can find my YouTube channel right where you're watching this, youtube.com/Chrono Radio. Lots of stuff on there, like from the Star Wars Home Video Library. I do have a new Q&A video that'll be going up soon that I haven't recorded yet, but I basically put out a call for questions on a get your questions in kind of video, and then I'll be doing one of those fairly soon. My Patreon is patreon.com/Nathan P. Butler. Highest tier gets exclusive monthly Q&As. Middle tier gets exclusive audio commentaries that I put together twice a month or more. And, of course, my Star Wars Timeline Gold, which will be ending this year, is over at StarWarsFanWorks.com/timeline, the most comprehensive Star Wars chronology available anywhere. And my book, A Saga on Home Video, A Fan's Guide to U.S. Star Wars Home Video Releases and whatnot, that can be found over on Amazon and such. Now that I'm finally back to the menu screen here, again, no unopened crates. They're just daily crates here. I will bid you adieu and go back to making more phone calls, I suppose. But thank you for watching. Expect more content on the channel soon. More Battlefront streaming when more content is released for the game. Thanks, everybody.